Hello everybody, welcome to Simplified in 5. Today we're going to talk about adapter design pattern. So let's first see in which problem scenario you should be using the adapter design pattern. So if you want to use an application which provides the functionality you want and your client wants, but the client is not happy with the interface provided, then in that case you should use adapter design pattern. Similarly, if you want to design something new by making use of the existing piece of code or function or application, then but that application has or the function has less usability, then in that case you should go for adapter design pattern. So let's see how do you go for implementing the adapter design pattern. So you first need to identify the component which is called as adaptee that you want to reuse, then identify the interface that the client wants, and then you can design a adapter or wrapper class which can hold the adaptee and provide the necessary interface. So it's as simple as that, and then the client in the end will use the new class that you provide, which internally holds the new class that you existing class that you have reused. So let's see a simple example where, let's say you have an existing car which is like an old fashioned car, and now you want to provide an auto gear car where you don't have to actually manually change the gears in the car. And so here is the existing interface of class car where you have to do gear up, gear down, press clutch, release clutch and all. But with the auto gear car you have to you will be providing a simpler interface like just accelerate and brake. So this is not exactly in sync with the actual auto gear car, but we'll try to use that as an example. So here is the existing code where the earlier users of car, they will have to make use of lot of these functions. Then they have to keep track of the current speed and check if it's matching to the current gear, and then accordingly increase the speed or decrease the speed. See, when they are accelerating and when they want to stop, they have to press brake, clutch, then decrease the gear and so on. So this is a kind of complicated interface that they have to use and drive the car basically. But with the new auto gear car, they would be able to drive very uh, easily, and with ease of use they will have to just accelerate and brake if they want to stop. So this is what we want to achieve. Now let's see how do we achieve this. So in the new cars, new auto gear cars accelerate, what you will do is basically you will provide the accelerate and brake function where in the accelerate. So here you can see that in the new auto gear car you have kept an object of existing car. So you are using existing car as a member of your class, and using that car in your accelerate function you are doing the same complex interface or complex functionality. You have hidden that functionality in your accelerate function, and similarly in your brake you have hidden this complex functionality of pressing clutch, decreasing the gear, and then releasing clutch and then brake and so on. So this is how you basically hide the complex interface behind a nice and clean interface of just accelerate and brake. So now we are at the end where we will see how, the 5 key things that you should be knowing about adapter class. So basically adapter class holds the object of adaptee as we see here, and then provides the wrapper. So it's also called as the wrapper design pattern. This pattern uses object composition, and hence the adapter and adaptee has a relationship. So there is also another design pattern which is called as class adapter pattern, where multiple inheritance is used, so that the adapter class is derived from adaptee class, that is the old class, and you can say the new expected interface. So you have a new expected interface, then you have an existing old fashioned class, and then you derive a new class from both of these. So that is called as class adapter design pattern. And then in the actual adapter design pattern, or the one that we saw just now, it can be used to make two existing pre-designed but incompatible classes work together by modifying the interface to match the end user expectations. And then in the end, the very important point that I think is that this design pattern is actually perhaps most widely used knowingly and unknowingly to reuse the old software components that are maybe written in old languages like COBOL, Fortran, C, and sometimes in C++ as well. But those are now at the core of the new applications where you will be providing UI on using VC++, Java, .NET or web technologies. So if somebody asks you like, have you used or how do you know about adaptive design pattern, just give it a thought, and you are definitely using an adaptive design pattern. So these are the 5 key things about adaptive design pattern. We also saw an example whether auto gear car is implemented using a simple car, and we saw how to implement it, and we saw in which problem scenario we should use the adaptive design pattern. So thanks for watching and hope this helps.